Well, 31 hours. Just think how long that is and what you would do in that time. You'd definitely have a nap. Well, that's how long it took Dean Summers to break a major record off Australia's east coast. The 64-year-old has become the first man to swim the waters between Newcastle and Sydney unassisted. That means no shark cage, no human company for 31 hours. Just 95 kilometres of endless ocean. Dean joins me now. Dean, you're looking fresh. You look like you're ready to do it all again.
I just got out of the water, thanks, Laura. I feel fantastic.
So 95 kilometres. How do you train for something like that?
Well, I've got a really good coach in Vlad Moravec who runs Vlad Swim in Sydney, and he trains a lot of people for the English Channel, and he's got a number of people on his books now. It's just an extension of that, and I trust Vlad with his training schedule. That's paid off incredibly well. I've recovered well because I trained well, and it's just been a really successful endeavour. I'm really happy with it.
Dean, why?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, but one of them is to draw back attention to Australian long-distance swimming. It's kind of forgotten, and there's a lot of people that travel internationally to do channels around the world, and that is a wonderful thing. The English Channel is an incredible thing. I've done it. It's very exciting, and it's a great achievement to have. But we've got just so much better conditions in Australia, better water, cleaner, safer, warmer, which is an important thing. And I just want to draw attention back into that, into Australia, but also to set the bar in Australia. And this has now been officially ratified as Australia's longest swim.
Excellent. So what was the longest before you broke the record?
It's a little unclear, but a whole lot of people have been doing some extremely incredible, amazing swims around the coast. Sydney to Wollongong and around there, mainly on the east coast. But remember that the Rottnest swim in Western Australia is the largest open water race in the world. And so that should be a signal that there's a lot of swimming to be had in Australia.
So what's next then, Dean?
Well, I've got to promise my wife and family that I'll just be quiet for a little while. So we're going to spend a couple of months recovering. Back to squad on Tuesday after the holidays, and just sort of motor along for a while. But there's a whole lot of other things that I'm interested in. I know people are thinking about different courses in Australia, but whatever it is, I'll make sure that everyone knows about it because I want to promote Australian swimming.
I can't quite get my head around 95 kilometres of swimming. If I had to swim 50 metres to save my own life, I'm not sure that I could do it. But surely you have you swum your whole life? You've got to have some basic ability here. It's not all down to training.
I swam as a kid, like just about all Australian kids, I think, and that's a wonderful thing to have under the belt. I left it for a great many years. I was a merchant seafarer working on the Australian coast and internationally, but I came back to it probably 10 or 15 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, and I had that basis. But it's just been a wonderful experience with some beautiful people in a wonderful environment.
So unassisted means what? You had some safety crew right next to you, but you weren't allowed to touch any vessels. Did you tread water for a time to give yourself a break, or did you just keep on going?
I chose to do it under the English Channel rules, which are pretty strict but very clear, and that is you enter the water from a beach and you exit the water on your own without anybody assist, even ankle-deep water. And anybody that's seen Dinah Nyad's movie knows how traumatic that last couple of steps is. But it's no assistance, no one can touch you. You're fed by a feeding line on a rope. No one can support you. You haven't got wetsuits or stinger suits, so it's just budgie smugglers in a cap and goggles. They're very, very well-defined rules. I did it under the English Channel rules so that it can be ratified as an official swim.
Mate, that sounds amazing. Just your budgie smugglers in the ocean. Good on you. Well, congratulations. I'm so glad you found the time to talk to us this morning.
Come down to Coogee anytime, Laura. We'll take you out further than 50 metres and see if you can make it back.
I don't know. I might need a surfboard, mate. I'll think about it. We'll see you soon.